After knowing each other for so long, she hadn't seen a movie with me yet. Sure, I immediately pulled out my phone to buy tickets. I checked the latest releases and chose a sci-fi romance film. After all, how can you date without watching a romance movie? We took a taxi to the cinema. Since it wasn't a holiday, the theater wasn't crowded. The movie we chose wasn't a premiere, but a remastered import. It told the story of a newlywed couple struggling to survive in a post-apocalyptic world, from falling in love to raising children. The plot was very twists and turns, and the protagonists' experiences were heartbreaking. As we watched, Yukino Tang began to tear up. She leaned into my ear and whispered, "Husband, what would we do if the end of the world actually happened?" I held her hand tightly, my expression serious. "Then even if it costs me everything, I will make sure you and the babies survive." Yukino Tang nodded, deeply moved. Halfway through the movie, she had to go to the restroom because she'd had too much milk tea. Just as she was finishing up and tidying her makeup at the sink, she suddenly heard a gasp behind her. "Yukino?" Hearing the voice, Yukino Tang turned around. A tall, beautiful woman was standing at the door, her eyes full of joy and surprise. "When did you return to the country?" After recognizing her, Yukino Tang was slightly stunned. "Xiao, how are you here?" After high school, Yukino Tang had gone abroad to study for a few years, then got into Peking University for her master's, so she returned early to finish her studies. "Oh, are you here for a movie? With your boyfriend?" The girl was Xiao, Yukino Tang's high school classmate. They had been close in school. "You too?" Yukino Tang asked back with a smile. Xiao nodded immediately. It was a rare date for her and her boyfriend today. Seeing this, Yukino Tang showed a smug smile. "You guessed wrong, though. I'm not here with a boyfriend. This is my husband." "My God, you're married? Why didn't you tell me?" "Yukino, that's not very friendly of you. Your secrecy is a bit much." Xiao looked shocked. Yukino Tang smiled sweetly. "We got our license, but we haven't held the wedding yet, so I didn't tell anyone." Xiao shook her head and sighed. "To think you're actually married. By the way, after the movie, my boyfriend and I are going to karaoke. Do you two want to come? A few other high school classmates will be there too. I'm really interested in that boyfriend of yours." "Oh wait, husband?" Faced with the invitation, Yukino Tang didn't agree immediately. She thought for a moment, "I have to ask my husband first. I can't force him if he doesn't want to go." "Yo, you've become henpecked so quickly? And to think our goddess Yukino used to be known as the Ice Beauty." Xiao couldn't help but tease. Yukino Tang blushed at Xiao's words and glared at her playfully. "Wait a moment. I don't want my husband to be worried." The roommate teased me, saying as long as you're bold enough, even a pretty counselor can go on maternity leave. The beautiful counselor, Yukino Tang, really did have triplets for me. Yukino Tang took me to her class reunion, drawing envious gazes from everyone there. Just as we stepped out of the cinema, Yukino Tang saw Xiao, who had been waiting there for a long time. Beside her was a man in a dress shirt, boredly scrolling through short videos on his phone. "Xiao!" Yukino Tang called out. Xiao turned around and, seeing Yukino Tang, walked over with her boyfriend. When she got close and saw my face, a flash of awe passed through Xiao's eyes. "This is your husband? He's so handsome!" Though, my boyfriend is also quite handsome. Xiao's boyfriend smiled awkwardly. He was very self-aware about his looks. Compared to me, it was like comparing the clouds to the mud. The two of them shook hands politely. "Hello, I'm Sato." "Hello, I'm Fang." Looking at my attire, Fang knew that I was definitely no ordinary person, so he immediately took out his business card and offered it with both hands. I took it and realized he was a lawyer. "Sorry, I don't have a card to give you." Fang waved his hand to show it didn't matter. He knew that the truly wealthy elites didn't carry business cards around like working stiffs. While Xiao and Yukino Tang were chatting nearby, I certainly wouldn't go around telling people I made a fortune in the stock market. It would only bring endless trouble. It's probably more than just cruising through life, Fang thought to himself, noting the luxury brands I was wearing. On the other side, learning that Yukino Tang had 3 children, Xiao's eyes grew as wide as cowbells. "What? You have kids? And they're triplets?" Xiao looked at Yukino Tang in disbelief, as if looking at a goddess. 3 children? That's amazing! I'm always afraid of losing my figure, so even if I got married, I wouldn't want kids. Besides, taking care of them is so troublesome, it must be exhausting. Hearing Xiao, Yukino Tang smiled. "It's actually all right. Usually, Sato and the nanny take care of the kids, and I still have to work." "I'm so envious," Xiao sighed. She checked her phone and said, "All right, it's about time. Everyone else is there. Let's go to karaoke." Just as she finished, Xiao remembered something and looked a bit awkward. "Oh, by the way, Yukino, I forgot to mention, Jiro is there too. You don't mind, do you?" "Why would I mind?" Yukino Tang looked back at me, currently talking to Fang, then said, "Besides, Sato and I ran into Jiro yesterday. He knows I'm married." Xiao breathed a sigh of relief and shouted at Fang, "Hey, mister, let's go. What are you standing around for?" "She's always like this." Fang shrugged helplessly at me. "She's always so fierce to me when we're out." "Heh, that just means you're close." "She's cunning. She acts all gentle in front of my mother, but treats me like a pack mule when we're alone." "What did you say?" Xiao walked over and glared at him. "Are you bad-mouthing me in front of others?" "No, I didn't say anything." Fang immediately surrendered with a fawning expression. These two are definitely a henpecked pair after marriage. Yukino Tang, and I couldn't help but laugh. Still, the way Yukino and I got along felt more comfortable. Meanwhile, in the karaoke room, a few young men and women were singing. A girl's phone suddenly rang. She checked it and saw a message from Xiao. After reading the message, the girl grabbed the microphone and shouted, "Xiao and her boyfriend are coming soon, and Yukino Tang is coming too." Even over the loud music in the room, everyone heard. The room, previously rowdy, instantly went quiet. "Isn't she our class goddess? I remember she went abroad to study after high school. I can't believe she's coming today. 8 out of 10 guys in our class used to have a crush on her. Heh, looks like we're lucky today." The men in the room began to gossip. Just then, hearing Yukino Tang's name, Jiro, who had been in high spirits, suddenly turned silent. The guy next to him nudged him and teased, "Jiro, I remember you used to pursue Yukino Tang desperately. Maybe you still have a chance?" Hearing this, Jiro grew even more depressed. He lifted his glass, took a big gulp, and shook his head. "No chance. She's already married." Once these words were out, everyone was stunned. They all turned their eyes toward him. The goddess in their hearts was actually married? Since when? There hadn't been any news. Jiro poured himself another drink and said slowly, "I ran into Yukino Tang and her husband on the street yesterday. She's definitely married." The men present felt quite disappointed. Even after so many years, hearing that the goddess they had pined for was someone else's wife still stung. "What does her husband do?" someone asked. "What kind of guy could win the goddess's heart?" Jiro shook his head, distracted. "I don't know. You can ask them when they get here." "Fine." The guy next to Jiro said indignantly, "I want to see what kind of deity managed to marry our class goddess." Jiro didn't speak anymore, just sat there drinking, staring into the distance, his thoughts unknown. Before long, the door to the room was pushed open. Xiao and Fang entered first. Everyone knew them. "Hello, gorgeous people. We're here," Xiao greeted everyone. "We're not late, right?" No. Perfect timing," everyone replied, their eyes fixed on the doorway. Xiao's eyes darted around. She stood at the door and said, "I knew it. You guys only have eyes for our class goddess, right? Come on, let me show you what our class goddess looks like. Dun dun dun." As Xiao finished, the door opened again. A woman in a white top and a short skirt walked in gracefully. Her dark, silky hair flowed over her shoulders, and her face was exquisite, as if carved by a celestial artist. Seeing her for the first time, all the men's eyes widened like copper bells, their faces shocked. Yukino Tang's appearance had already left everyone stunned. But following right behind her was a man with an incredibly handsome face. Seeing this man, over 1.8 meters tall and devastatingly handsome, all the women in the room were instantly captivated. "Hello everyone, it's been a while." Yukino Tang held my arm and greeted everyone. "This is my husband, Sato. Apologies for the sudden visit. I hope we didn't disturb you." I smiled. Every man I glanced at felt a sudden shiver of fear. Even Fang, who came with us, didn't dare to meet my eyes. After consuming the marrow cleansing pill and gaining the buff of a martial arts master, I radiated a natural aura of authority. The guys who had initially wanted to put me in my place were now too shocked to speak. Seeing this, Jiro felt even worse. Compared to me, he felt like a clown. He clenched his fists, poured himself a drink, and downed it in one go. "To think you managed to win our class goddess." Just then, a chubby guy who looked like a businessman walked up to me and happily poured me a drink. "Since we're here, we're all friends. Let me have a drink with you." As the fat guy broke the ice, everyone else started pouring drinks, women included. Of course, Jiro hid in the corner, drinking his sorrows away. Seeing the woman he once loved standing next to a man 100 times better than him was a massive blow. Come, let's all raise our glasses to welcome Yukino Tang and her husband. Cheers! Xiao, the life of the party, cheered. Everyone downed their drinks, and the room became lively again. I set my glass down and began to observe Yukino Tang's high school classmates. Most of them seemed decent. Even the guys who knew I was married to Yukino Tang and kept coming to toast me did so with good intentions. Only Jiro, who had been drinking moodily from the start, seemed completely out of place at the party. Come on everyone, another round? Someone toasted again. Just as Yukino Tang was about to raise her glass, I stopped her. You just finished your confinement. Drink less, take care of your health, switch to juice. Yukino Tang obediently swapped her glass for juice and toasted happily with her classmates. Jiro, on the other side, watched how obedient Yukino Tang was to me, and then thought about her distant, cold demeanor toward him. It felt terrible. Under the influence of the alcohol, he stood up and said to me, "Come on, brother, let's have a drink." Sure. I politely picked up my glass, clinked it with Jiro's, and finished it in one gulp. After one, Jiro poured himself another. Again. The atmosphere started to feel off. The man next to Jiro tried to mediate, lifting his glass. Jiro, let me drink with you instead. This has nothing to do with you. Jiro didn't even look at him. His eyes were fixed on me. Come on, let's continue. I smiled, feeling no stage fright. Please, with my current physical condition, drinking is like drinking water. Even if 10 more of him came, it wouldn't be enough. I picked up my glass and clinked it with Jiro's again. I didn't hold back and finished the rest of the beer. After going back and forth, a dozen bottles of beer were emptied. By the 18th bottle, Jiro slumped to the floor, making a complete fool of himself. As for me, far from being drunk, my face wasn't even red. My eyes remained clear. Jiro had chosen the wrong opponent if he wanted to make me look bad. Seeing this, everyone grew even more respectful. It was one thing to hold your liquor, but it was another to stay composed and handle the situation without using the chance to humiliate the guy who provoked you. After a while, Yukino Tang, fearing I had drunk too much, left early with me. After leaving the KTV, she said with concern, "Husband, why did you get into a drinking contest with that guy? That little bit of alcohol is nothing to me. That guy provoked me in front of everyone. That was a sign of disrespect to you. I did it to give him a lesson." Yukino Tang was deeply touched. "But husband, you drank so much. Are you really okay? I'm worried you'll get drunk and I'll have to carry you back." "I'm fine. With your husband's capacity, I haven't even hit 10% of my limit." Yukino Tang looked suspicious. She stared at me for a long time but noticed I really didn't show a single sign of intoxication. She asked incredulously, "I can't believe you can drink that much. Then how drunk were you back at your friend's birthday party?" I froze. I had forgotten that part. Back then, I hadn't taken the marrow cleansing pill. Naturally, a few glasses had knocked me out. "What if I told you I was just pretending to be drunk back then?" I said with a mischievous grin. "Oh, so you were playing tricks on me." Yukino Tang's eyes blinked, her face turning crimson. She knew I was joking, but that didn't make her any less shy. "All right, let's go home." Yukino Tang hummed, took my arm, and we walked toward home. The dim streetlights cast a beautiful silhouette on the two of us. The roommate teased me, saying as long as you're bold enough, even a pretty counselor can go on maternity leave. The beautiful counselor, Yukino Tang, really did have triplets for me. I hesitated, then said, "Wife, I want to take a leave of absence to be a stay-at-home dad full-time. I've already finished studying most of the materials, so graduation won't be a problem." Yukino Tang's brows furrowed. She looked up at me and said, "Husband, let's still have Aunt Wang take care of the kids. You can't let your studies slide." "It's fine, I can manage both. Even if I study the rest of these courses at home by myself, it'll be fine." I patted my chest, confident. "You think you're in high school? Studying by yourself?" Yukino Tang was a university teacher. She knew exactly how difficult it was to self-study those courses. "It's fine, wife." I gave her a look of reassurance. "Fine." Yukino Tang sighed. "Husband, if you insist on being a stay-at-home dad, I don't have an opinion, but if your grades suffer, you must bring Aunt Wang back and go back to class." I gave her an okay sign, then added, "Wife, Since I won't be going to school, we need to buy you a car for your commute. Otherwise, I'll have to drive you to school every day, and there will be no one watching the babies at home. Plus, it'll look stylish for you to drive to work." Yukino Tang subconsciously shook her head. "No need. I can take the subway. There's no need to waste money on another car. We're buying a car. I don't want my wife to have to squeeze into the subway every day to work." Yukino Tang had to give up. After all, her husband cared for her so much. She was afraid if she kept refusing, he would be upset. That afternoon, I drove the Land Rover Defender with my wife and kids.